The Gospel of Thomas, a hidden treasure of early Christianity. Imagine discovering a secret gospel that challenges everything you know about Christianity. The Gospel of Thomas, a non-canonical Christian text from the mid-1 century attributed to the Apostle Thomas, does just that. Comprising 114 sayings of Jesus, it diverges sharply from the canonical Gospels by focusing on esoteric wisdom and direct spiritual insight. Unearthed in 1945 near Nag Hammadi, Egypt, this gospel sheds light on the rich diversity of early Christian thought and the existence of Gnostic communities. These groups valued personal spiritual knowledge over orthodox teachings, suggesting that salvation is achieved through self-discovery and inner enlightenment. This contrasts starkly with traditional Christian beliefs, which emphasize faith in Jesus' death and resurrection for salvation. The Gospel of Thomas is controversial for its Gnostic elements, which imply that divine knowledge can be accessed directly, challenging the authority of the Church and its sacraments. For Orthodox Christianity, this gospel is seen as dangerous because it undermines the Church's role and the centrality of communal faith. Its focus on individual spiritual experience over established doctrine threatens the unity and core teachings of the Christian faith. Despite this, the Gospel of Thomas offers valuable historical insight into early Christian diversity. However, its teachings are considered heretical and potentially divisive within the broader Christian tradition. The Gospel of Thomas is a fascinating glimpse into the spiritual quests of early Christians. It challenges us to think about the nature of faith and the paths to enlightenment. Its discovery opened a window into a more personal and introspective approach to spirituality that still resonates today. Shams al-Ma'arif al-Kubra, the mystical manuscript of the ages. Imagine uncovering a book that holds the secrets of the mystical world. Shams al-Ma'arif al-Kubra, also known as the Book of the Son of Gnosis, is a monumental manuscript written by Ahmed al-Buni in the 13th century, revered as one of the most significant works in Arabic occultism and esoteric knowledge. This book offers a deep dive into the mystical traditions of the Middle Ages. Written in Egypt during the Ayyubid dynasty, Shams al-Ma'arif al-Kubra spans over 40 chapters, covering topics like talismans, numerology, and various spiritual practices tied to mysticism. This manuscript became a cornerstone for those interested in magic and esotericism within Arab culture and continues to influence modern practitioners. However, Shams al-Ma'arif al-Kubra is not without controversy. It teaches magic and how to summon supernatural entities, delving into the manipulation of occult forces that could endanger one's spiritual and mental well-being. The text includes detailed instructions on using talismans, spells, and rituals that can lead to apostasy, deviating from Islamic beliefs. For the Muslim community, this book is particularly dangerous as it promotes practices associated with shirk, polytheism, which contradicts the core tenet of Tawhid, the belief in the oneness of God. Religious leaders often condemn Shams al-Ma'arif al-Kubra, warning that it can lead believers astray by encouraging them to forsake true religious teachings and engage in forbidden practices, posing a significant threat to their spiritual and moral integrity. Shams al-Ma'arif al-Kubra is a fascinating yet perilous journey into the world of Arabic mysticism. Its allure lies in its promise of hidden knowledge and power, but it also serves as a stark reminder of the thin line between enlightenment and spiritual peril. The Gospel of Judas, a revolutionary perspective on Christianity. Imagine discovering a text that turns the story of Christianity on its head. The Gospel of Judas is a Gnostic text from the 2nd century AD attributed to Judas Iscariot. Discovered in the 1970s in Egypt and published in 2006, this gospel presents a radically different view of Judas, traditionally seen as the betrayer of Jesus. Instead, it portrays him as Jesus' closest disciple, acting on Jesus' request to betray him. thereby helping to free Jesus' spirit from the material world. Historically, the Gospel of Judas is part of Gnostic literature that values hidden spiritual knowledge over traditional beliefs. This text challenges the conventional Christian narrative by suggesting that Judas's actions were in accordance with Jesus' instructions, positioning Judas not as a traitor, but as a pivotal figure in Jesus' mission. The Gospel of Judas is controversial because it questions fundamental Christian doctrines. It offers an alternative view of Jesus' teachings and Judas's role, implying that mainstream Christianity has misunderstood these events. The text depicts the material world as corrupt and promotes secret knowledge, posing a significant threat to the Orthodox Christian belief system, which relies on the canonical Gospels for its narrative of sin, redemption, and the importance of Jesus' sacrificial death and resurrection. The Gospel of Judas is a fascinating and provocative text that challenges long-held beliefs about one of history's most infamous figures. It invites us to reconsider the nature of betrayal and the complexity of spiritual teachings. This gospel is a powerful reminder of the diversity of early Christian thought and the ongoing quest for understanding. The Gospel of Mary, a radical shift in early Christian thought. Imagine a gospel that elevates a woman to the forefront of early Christianity. The Gospel of Mary, a Gnostic Christian text from the 2nd century AD attributed to Mary Magdalene, does just that. Discovered in fragments in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, this gospel presents Mary as a key figure who receives secret teachings from Jesus himself. The text portrays Mary Magdalene as a leader among the disciples, imparting profound spiritual knowledge and insights on salvation. The Gospel of Mary is groundbreaking because it places Mary in a prominent role, challenging traditional narratives that often overlook women's contributions in early Christianity. It emphasizes personal spiritual insight and inner enlightenment, suggesting that salvation comes from within rather than through the institutional church. This gospel is controversial for promoting Gnostic ideas that prioritize personal spiritual knowledge over traditional Christian teachings. It challenges established authority by implying that individuals can access divine knowledge directly without the church's mediation. This perspective upends traditional views on sin, redemption, and the role of the church in guiding believers. The Gospel of Mary is a revolutionary text that invites us to reconsider the roles of women in early Christianity and the nature of spiritual authority. It's inspiring to see Mary Magdalene depicted as a powerful, knowledgeable leader, offering a fresh perspective on spiritual enlightenment and salvation. The Gospel of Satan, a controversial modern manifesto. Imagine a text that turns traditional religious beliefs upside down. The Gospel of Satan, a controversial modern text, is associated with satanic and occult movements rather than early Christian tradition. Its authorship remains uncertain, typically attributed to various contemporary figures rather than a single historical source. This provocative text presents an alternative narrative that glorifies Lucifer as a symbol of enlightenment, individualism, and rebellion against divine authority. It aligns with ideas promoted by modern Satanists like Anton LaVey, who reinterpreted Satan as representing self-empowerment and freedom from religious constraints. The Gospel of Satan is seen as subversive by most Christians for challenging orthodox views on morality, sin, redemption, and Satan's role. By portraying Satan as an advocate for human autonomy and knowledge, it questions traditional Christian teachings and suggests that religious leaders are misguided. The text promotes the idea that it's acceptable to do whatever you want, potentially leading believers to think that traditional Christianity is outdated and wrong. This gospel is highly controversial because it directly confronts established religious norms and is considered heretical and harmful by mainstream Christians. However, for those questioning religious doctrines, it offers a perspective that encourages personal empowerment and liberation from conventional beliefs. The Gospel of Satan is a thought-provoking text that challenges the core of traditional religious values. It's fascinating to see how it reinterprets Satan as a figure of enlightenment and rebellion, prompting us to reconsider notions of morality and authority. This gospel is a testament to the ongoing dialogue about faith, autonomy, and the search for truth. The Gospel of Philip, unveiling mystical Christianity. Imagine discovering a gospel that redefines the foundations of Christianity. The Gospel of Philip, a Gnostic text from the 3rd century AD, was unearthed in the Nag Hammadi Library in Egypt in 1945. Unlike other Gospels, this one comprises sayings and teachings focused on spiritual union, sacraments, and the symbolic bridal chamber. The Gospel of Philip offers a mystical perspective on Christianity, emphasizing inner spiritual knowledge and personal enlightenment. This text is significant because it presents alternative views on Christian teachings, particularly regarding sacraments and the role of Mary Magdalene. It hints at a deeper relationship between Jesus and Mary Magdalene, suggesting a connection beyond traditional beliefs. Additionally, it challenges the notion that spiritual union is confined by physical and societal boundaries. This gospel is controversial due to its Gnostic elements, which prioritize secret knowledge and spiritual enlightenment over established church doctrines. It interprets sacraments symbolically rather than literally, differing from the orthodox interpretations that underpin Christian rites and rituals. For traditional Christianity, the Gospel of Philip is seen as dangerous because it questions the nature of Christ, the role of sacraments, and the authority of the Church. Its focus on personal spiritual insight and mystical interpretations presents an alternative path that contrasts sharply with mainstream Christian beliefs. The Gospel of Philip is a fascinating and thought-provoking text that invites us to explore a deeper, more mystical side of Christianity. It's intriguing to consider the alternative views on sacraments and the relationship between Jesus and Mary Magdalene. This gospel challenges us to look beyond conventional teachings and seek a more personal and enlightened understanding of spirituality.